Good day, everyone. This is Juanita Kapp from Meticulous Moments. We are so excited here today to have an enlivening session with our new guest, Willie Marshall, and he's going to be telling us a lot about his martial arts journey. We are in season 3 at the moment with Meticulous Moments, so I just want to give a shout out to all the wonderful guests who have been on here, our followers, everyone that tunes into us. We are on Roku and CBS and so many other channels. Traverse TV, we're very excited to have you guys, and you in essence make up the Meticulous Moments family. So this year is the year of new beginnings, and I chose 2 power words for Meticulous Moments this year, and that is impact and influence. And we are going to be striving to bring more of that to the audience this year. So thank you to everyone who has been connecting. Thank you to everyone who has been following us and really just helping us grow, because that's what it's all about. It's about personal and professional development. Now, today, I have the pleasure and the honor to interview Willie. He's a salted martial artist. I mean, he does so many things at his dojo, at his martial arts studio, and that includes MMA, Taekwondo, Goju-Ryu, Jiu-Jitsu. He's got a hard, soft style in his karate, and we're going to learn a little bit more about that today. So shout out also to our mutual friend, John Vanis, who set this up last year already. And due to our busy schedules, we were only able to align today. But guys, everything happens in the right time, right? So we are so happy to have you here, Willie. Please introduce yourself to the audience and feel welcome.
Hi, I'm Willie Marshall. I'm from currently from Atlanta, well, Marietta, Georgia. Originally from New York, but I've been in Georgia for about 7, 8 years now.
Wonderful. I've got a few friends that live in Georgia, in Atlanta, and they say it's a beautiful place. I know Alejandro, my business partner, comes from there. John Vanis is from there. Jonathan Ellis is from there. Now you are there, Willie. So it must be a wonderful community. Is Atlanta very big?
Yes, yeah, it's big. It's kind of like a little New York.
Oh,
So I mean, it's not huge, but it's heavily populated.
awesome, awesome. I'm also thinking of Laura White. Shout out to Laura White, is also in Atlanta. So tell us, Willie, how did your love for martial arts start?
Well, it originally started when I was in high school. Um, I actually got robbed in high school when I was about 15. So I wanted to learn how to defend myself. And I talked my parents into signing me up for karate. And they found a Taekwondo school, which was T. King's in Brooklyn, New York. And my father took me and signed me up. And he also, he figured since he had to take me there and wait for me, he might as well join. So he joined as well. And we joined together, we trained together, we got our black belts there together. So it was really a beautiful thing. And we trained together for many years until he stopped training. We even opened up a school together in Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island.
Wow.
That we ran for several years.
And what style was your initial style? What style did you start out in?
My initial style was Taekwondo,
Mhm.
which is a lot of kicking.
Yeah.
So my legs were really good. My legs were always really good, and um, from there, after we got our black belts, we wanted to, expand on our skills and knowledge. So we started doing kickboxing,
Mhm.
and we trained there for a couple of years at Louis Neglia School, and that was kickboxing, Goju-Ryu, and Jiu-Jitsu, and that was good.
Absolutely. I always believe that, exposing yourself to lots of different styles is a wonderful thing, because you don't always know which way the fight is going to go. and who your opponent is going to be. You know, if you're attacked, is the fight going to go to the ground? Then you need to know some jiu-jitsu. Is the fighter going to be standing, attacking you? Then you need your legs, and you need to be able to box. And I think it's good that we teach ourselves to be all-round, all-style fighters. Of course, we have our one direction that we go in mainly, but it's very good to inculcate and encapsulate all of these other styles and trainings that we know. The taekwondo is there, the kickboxing is there. You can go to the ground, you can do the jiu-jitsu, you know the karate skills. Open hands are very dangerous, guys. Open hands are more dangerous than closed hands. And you know how to handle yourself in that situation. And I think it also elevates our confidence level. And we train the body so well, the muscle memory is there. So in that moment, you'll know exactly what to do because you've trained it so many times. Your body knows exactly how to react. Now, let's talk a little bit about confidence level. How has martial arts really elevated your confidence level, not only as a martial artist, but as a person?
Well, martial arts definitely elevates your confidence. It makes you confident, because if you have the skills to handle yourself in a situation, it makes it easy to be confident and walk away from a situation. You know, you're not really intimidated. Yeah. It's the same as if a 5-year-old came up to a grown adult and was threatening to beat him up. You're going to just brush it off and pay it no mind. You're not intimidated. So, being a martial artist, and it teaches you you have confidence. So it's a lot easier to walk away from a situation, to diffuse a situation. It teaches you to be a good person. Yeah. You know, when I had my students, I always told them, be a good person, use common sense before self-defense. You know, there's no need to try to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. All of the high-level martial artists I know would rather walk away from the fight than engage. Because they're not violent. They are skilled. They are knowledgeable. Right. They are trained. They are conditioned, but they're not violent. I think a very big misconception out there is, you go to training because you want to beat everybody up and, get rid of whatever. Maybe sometimes people have anger or guilt or resentment. Yes, you work through that. But in that process, like you said, when that character is shaped, when you develop those principles and that, that honor that you have for life and keeping life going and healthy, then you don't want to fight. You rather walk away. But, of course, if someone pushes you into a corner and you have nowhere to go and your life is in danger, then martial artists will react. Anyone would, because it's all about self-preservation. But I love the fact that karate brings out that peaceful, that calm part of us. We know who we are and we know what we're capable of, but we want to spread peace and joy. And has that journey been the same for you? Because you are teaching your students to act in a calm and peaceful manner as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And also another thing is, I don't have a school anymore. But when I ran the school for 15 years, and it also teaches you and it forces you to walk on a higher level, to live on it, because how can I tell these kids to live a certain way if I'm not doing it? Mm-hmm. So it forces you to just live even better.
Mm-hmm. That's a very powerful statement that you made just now. And it is so true. You want to be better because you know there's people following you. You know there's people watching you, and you want to be the best grandmaster or kyoshi or sifu that you can be to them. It really brings home that we have to be accountable for who we are and who we are busy becoming. And I think you hit the nail right there on the head by saying that we want to be better every single day. And the drive of martial arts, it really becomes a part of us. Yes, we did a good session yesterday. Yes, I've learned that kata. Yes, I had a wonderful tournament, but there's always room for improvement. I want to be better tomorrow. And I think that's a wonderful thing. That's what keeps us in the martial arts for so long, because it's really a lifelong journey.
Right, right. It is.
So let me ask you, Willie, you did go to, you do jiu-jitsu as well, taekwondo. So you've had many, many students come in and out of your martial arts studios over the years, also people that trained with you. Can you think of a story of someone that was really inspirational to you? Maybe someone who struggled in the beginning, who attained their goal at the end, or someone who transcended so many boundaries, but they still made it. What really spoke to you? Is there one person you can think of that really left that mark, that etched themselves in your memory?
Do you mean as far as like on a student, as a student, or as far as someone that like in a teaching position that I look up to?
Either or.
So there's a lot of people. Oh man, there's so many people that I've met during my martial arts journey that have had an influence on my martial arts career, my martial arts life. The first person I will always like to give credit to is my dad, because if he never signed me up for martial arts, then I would not be a martial artist. Also, my dad just always lived in a way that just it was respectful, and so he was a perfect example for me. He always worked. He worked. He was a hard worker. So just he set the perfect example for me. So I didn't have, I grew up in Coney Island, and
Yeah.
it would have been easy to go the right way or the wrong way, but I didn't have an excuse to go the wrong way because I had a good example there. So I always give him props first, and then my instructor T Kane out of Brooklyn, New York. He's in Manhattan now. He still runs a school. He's very influential. That school where we got our black belts from. It was not just a school. It was a family. It was a family environment. And when I go back to New York, I still train at one of the schools with Master Bertney Pascal. He's like my brother. I consider him my brother. So it's still family. And then uh, Tony Young out of Atlanta. Got to give him props. When I came down here, he's the first school that I started training at. Someone invited me down, and he just embraced me as family. So, also, I consider that home now as well. Marcel Lazenby, I'm on Team ATL, and it's his team. And just like these guys have all done things that are great. So they're people to look up to. I also trained with Chris Walker at dojo out of Roswell. Another great world champion who's embraced me, treats me like family. You know, and I know Chris from years ago. I didn't really, I knew him, but I didn't really know him. The first time I saw him competing, probably like 30 years ago, and he was killing somebody with a ridge hand in the competition, but that's a different story. And when I came to Atlanta, I did a seminar, one of Ross Levine's seminars, because I used to train with Ross at T-Kang, and then Ross used to also come down to my school in Coney Island when I had it open. So when he was doing a seminar in Atlanta, and I was down here. I said, "Oh, let me go to the seminar, support the seminar," and went there. And Chris was there, and so we got talking, and he invited me to his school. But also, Ross Levine has had a big influence too, because he's young, but he's smart. So, he's learned some things from me a long time ago, but now I've learned some things from him later. So it just came full circle. And you see, I don't want to forget anybody, but I think, yeah, those are my main people that I really look up to, and they've really had a major uh, influence on me. And let me not also forget, because I trained, there's two more out of New York. Sensei Abdul Aziz. Me and my dad trained with him for about 3 years. He was a big influence. And then he also introduced me to Jody Tenton.
Oh.
And I trained with Jody for a couple of years, heavily. So all of these guys have had a huge influence on my martial arts life and my martial arts tournament career. Yeah.
That's fantastic. You made a very, very good point in talking about the martial arts and the family that we actually get when we become martial artists. Because I always tell people the dojo became my second home. And my son started training in martial arts, and a few months after he started training, I saw all the positive changes in his life, and I said to my daughter, "Come, we're also going to train," and we've never stopped since. And it really is a family. So listening to the shout outs and the people that have impacted your journey and you personally as well makes me think about the fact that we become one big martial arts family. And, I'll speak to people and we wouldn't even know that we both are martial artists, but somehow I think it's the energy that we share. We just, click and we understand each other because we are operating on that level, on that frequency. Now, you mentioned Tony Young. Shout out to Tony Young. I've heard amazing things about Tony Young. And then also Chris Walker, just to let you know, he's also going to be on Meticulous Moments. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he's also scheduled for an upcoming session. And yes, we meet impeccable people. Now, I want to ask you, how did you and John meet?
We actually met at Tony Young's dojo.
Okay, good.
Right.
Because you guys also
John's
have
a great guy. Right.
That's wonderful. Yeah. That's wonderful. Tell me, Willie, we have in life, we have ups and downs. In life, we have victories, but we have disappointments. Tell me about a time that you went through something that was really a disappointment for you. I have so many that I can talk about as well. We all go through them. What was that disappointment and how did you get through it?
Oh man. Well, oh boy. So yeah, I mean, like you said, there's so many disappointments that you do go through in life. So well, let me just say this. I'm on my third marriage. So there was two big disappointments previous. but now, now I found the perfect one. So, but in life, there's always disappointments, and you just have to deal with them. Luckily, my martial arts family has always been there for me. The one thing that's been constant through life is martial arts and martial arts training.
It helps us through a lot of things.
Yes.
I do is, if I suffer a disappointment, I go to the martial arts studio and I decide to leave whatever is bothering me at the door. And I go
Right.
and train, and I just focus on my breathing and my training. And it's almost like it's therapy for me. Because by the time I get out of the dojo, those things that seemed like huge mountains and huge obstacles and things that I might not even know how to sort out, suddenly it's not that bad. Because
Right.
we take that time to focus our energy on good things. Now, how do you meditate? What is your training regimen? Do you do CrossFit? How do you train?
My training now is so okay. So I have a gym in my basement. So a couple of nights a week, I do heavy bag work, some weights, stretching. On Thursday nights, I train at Tony Young's. He has open sparring. Um, at least sometime on Mondays, we train at uh, Marcel's dojo. A lot of sparring, plus team practice whenever we have that. Chris Walker's sparring session is every Sunday. So I do a lot of sparring, and like all if I'm in New York on Thursdays, I go to Master Bertney Pascal's school, T King, in Marine Park, and all these people that I just mentioned, they have like world class fighters coming through there, so it's a good workout, good session. So a lot of sparring, and then I have a Planet Fitness membership.
Good.
And I'm somewhat of a night owl. My hours are really weird. From like I usually go to bed somewhere around 4 o'clock in the morning. So the gym being 24 hours is
Right.
is good. I'll go on the elliptical and do some weights in there. And that's
Absolutely. Yeah, so you train basically all the different muscle groups. Because I had a discussion with someone the other day that there's different kinds of fitness. It's a different kind of
right.
fitness to do jiu-jitsu for 2 hours than it is to spar for 2 hours. You use different muscle groups. Your breathing is different. And I know you also do MMA, and that's of course full
Right.
contact. Tell us about the MMA. How was that for you? Did you do it yourself? Did you teach your students? What do you enjoy about MMA?
Well, right now I don't. I mean, I'm 53 now. I'm gonna be 54, so I don't do it competitively
Yes.
now because it just takes a different toll on your body. When I was younger, I was doing it competitively, but your body heals a lot quicker. It's not really a older man's sport, if you're smart. You know, I could get in there and do it competitively, but at 53, nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. So, but the sports karate is more speed, still power, but it's different. It's easier on the body.
Yes.
So a lot of do a lot of that. But I also, do a lot of lightweight training because your body doesn't hold up. Like you really have to take a scientific approach and make sure that you build your body in certain ways so you don't get certain injuries. And if you're training seriously, I always tell people you're gonna have injuries. So it's not really, do I have an injury? It's what injury do I have right now? Yeah. So like right now I compete, but I still have injuries and I work around those injuries. There's certain things that I can't do when I was 19, but that's when you have to be smarter. And you can beat that younger person because you have a strategy.
That's true. That's very, very true. Injuries come with the territory. It's right. Like you said, if you're really serious about your karate, if you're a serious karateka or a serious athlete, injuries come with the territory. And what Willie says there is so true, because you need to know how to work around them, and you need to know how to deal with them, because sometimes you can't put your training on hold. So you need to be knowledgeable about how then to train in a different manner to get your same results. Diet is very important. I spoke to a shout out to Alan Runacres. He is in the UK, and he actually imparted so much knowledge in his session as well. And that what you said made me think of that. He trains his students in a fashion that they first do whether it's lightweight or heavyweight training, but after they do that, they do their cardio, for instance, to build up their stamina, to build up their strength. And then he also spoke about what you can use before you go to your training to get the best results. For instance, he spoke about taking an espresso and having a Turkish delight, and that will carry you through, burn that energy as you go along. So diet is also very important, but also knowing yourself, knowing your injuries, knowing your body, and knowing what results you want. Because if you've got a sore ankle, you can't train the same way that you would normally train. So, just being knowledgeable. And that's what martial arts also brings to us. It brings us that it helps us develop, a knowledge of ourselves, what we need to do to reach those goals. Now, let's talk a little bit about diet, because you compete and you do sports karate. So that would include, I believe, kata and kumite, weapons, things of that nature. A tournament is a long day, guys. When you go to a tournament, it's a long day. The program can change. You might train so well and then get there and maybe not feel your best that day. And that's when we have to dig deep into our training and our knowledge of ourselves. What's going to help me get through this? So tell me, what do you normally use in your diet right before a tournament?
So normally, I do intermittent fasting. So I eat all my meals within a 8-hour period. So normally my window is from like 2 in the afternoon to 10, or sometimes I'll push it to 3 to 11, depending on how the day's going. So normally my breakfast is normally consists of 2 boiled eggs with some salt and pepper, and like a package of health nuts, or I might do a little bit of cottage cheese with the 2 boiled eggs, or I might do some Greek yogurt with fruit cut up in it, or oatmeal with some fruit cut up in it. But I try to stay away from the sugar. So in order to like sweeten my oatmeal or the yogurt, I cut up like an apple and banana and put that in it and get the sweetness from that. And then for lunch, It's like some grilled chicken, and salad, or maybe a little bit of rice, vegetables, and for dinner, normally it's whatever my wife makes. Like she might make some pork chops. Stays away from the fried foods. Rice, vegetables, spinach, or broccoli, asparagus. So most of the time I eat healthy, but I do eat some junk, like maybe a little bit of candy during the day, but I limit it.
Yes.
So I try to eat healthy, because at one point I was 251 pounds, so I was heavy, and it just didn't feel good and was sluggish. I mean, I was always able to fight, whether I was 251 or 180. But it's just it's a different level of fighting when you're in shape.
That's true.
So I really had to just start watching what I was eating and be conscious of it. I weigh myself when I wake up. I weigh myself during the day. I weigh myself at night before I go to bed. So I'm in tune with how my body works. I'm in tune with how much junk I can eat. I'm in tune with what that's going to do to my body. Because I'm just constantly, and then I'm disciplined enough to adjust and make adjustments. And one of the good things I like about competing is it forces me to eat right even more, because I have to make a certain weight for my division.
Yeah.
So it forces me to be extra conscious of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought about when you spoke about the cottage cheese, what I like to do is put an egg in there, cottage cheese and banana. That's like a little power bowl for me. And what I do on my tournament days, because I don't like to compete on a full stomach, I'll very early in the day, I'll have a banana and an oat bar and chocolate milk, just to give me that sugar boost, to get me through the day. So what would you, for instance, take on the morning of the tournament? Because you've got a list of foods there that are all great, very good.
Right. So normally when I'm headed to a tournament, I'll go to I'll kind of throw that diet out the window. I won't pay it no mind. I'll go to Burger King and get me like a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. And, it's going to fill me up on the carbs. So I'll do that. And then I'll have some, the health nuts in my bag that I can snack on. But I also have some candy in my bag too, like some miniature Hershey's, the Baby Ruth candies, or Kit Kats. Because it's not exactly the healthiest thing. But I was told once, and I kind of adopted it by Carl Serrano, that's what he used to do. He would eat the candy, like, because it's a quick sugar rush. It leaves your body quickly, but it gets in your bloodstream quick. So when you're at these tournaments, you don't really know when you're gonna fight. So like you be waiting for hours, and then they'll say, all right, you're going. So just to put something in that's gonna get in there quick. So that's pretty much. I do it all wrong on the tournament day, but I try to do it right the rest of the days.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I know that the tournaments, that program can change in an instant. You can think you're competing in half an hour, and then it's 3 hours later. So you need to have something that will give you that boost, because it's a long day, and it's actually quite exhausting by the time you get home. you're quite exhausted, but competing is good. Competing is, it really, you develop a love for competing, because in essence you are competing against yourself. I always tell myself I want to do better than I did the last time. I'm competing against myself. I want to thank you for being here at Meticulous Moments, Willie. You made the time. I know you're very busy. You've got a big schedule. And I want to ask you one last question. And that's, do you have words of wisdom for the audience? Any thought that you want to leave with them to inspire them for this week?
Well, guys, I mean, my words of wisdom, I guess, would be to just keep training. Just keep doing what you want to do. I mean, we all do martial arts because you want to improve. You want to be good. And I would just say, just keep doing what you're doing. If you're not getting the results that you want, then just change it up, but keep doing what you're doing, and you will improve. And those would be my words of wisdom.
And that's very true, Willie. Really, we should never give up. I agree with you completely. And martial arts, it is a cornerstone to us. And I want to thank you for everything that you are doing in the martial arts community. You know, there's students out there that have been trained by you that have the privilege now to be on their own martial arts journey. So kudos to you for everything you do. Shout out to all of your family and all of the people that we know, guys. Keep on shining out there. And once again, thank you for being an excellent guest, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Super excited to be here with you today. The name is David Vravlik, and I am the founder and president of New Beginnings Motivation, and we are super excited to announce that we are teaming up and coming alongside to be a sponsor for Meticulous Moments with Juanita Kapp. This was an absolute joy to be able to come and to be able to be a sponsorship with her, not only because I believe in what she's doing and all the powerful moments that she's providing her community and the fact that she's invited me on her show a couple of times, but I'm also excited because she's a part of the family within the New Beginnings Motivation team. And it was a no-brainer when we had this conversation about teaming up with her. And so it is with an extreme honor that myself personally teaming up with Juanita Kapp. So super excited and much love, sister.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're the #1 fastest growing community and tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs all around the country and around the world. We're in 36 states across the U.S., in 11 international countries, and over 240 plus members, growing every single day. And I'm honored, excited, and I'm glad to say that I'm proud to be the official sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast with Juanita Kapp. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited for this journey.